Today, we're diving into something called basic English. It's this really fascinating idea about the power you can find in just a few simple words, how they can be used to say almost anything. So let's get into it.
You know, it's a question anyone who's ever tried to learn a new language has definitely asked themselves. You open up a dictionary, and it feels like you're staring at this huge mountain. The English language, for instance, has something like over 170,000 words that people use today. So where on earth do you even begin?
Well, the answer is actually pretty straightforward. Instead of trying to climb that whole mountain at once, you just find the most direct path to the top. You focus on what's absolutely essential. You just start with the basics.
And this, right here, really puts the difference into perspective. On one side, you have all of Standard English, that massive number of words. And on the other, you have Basic English, which is a whole system built on just 850 core words. Now, this isn't about dumbing things down. It's about creating a super strong, functional foundation that you can use to build and say pretty much anything.
So what is it exactly? Well, Basic English is not just some random list of words. It's a carefully designed system. The guy who created it, Charles K. Ogden, he broke those 850 words down into a few groups. 600 things, nouns, 150 qualities, or adjectives, and then just 100 operators, words like verbs and prepositions that really make the language work. It's a tool that's built for maximum clarity with the smallest possible vocabulary.
Okay, so the theory sounds great, right? But let's see how this actually works in practice. I think the best way to really get a feel for how powerful this is to zoom way in and look at how just a single word is handled inside this system.
For our little case study here, we're going to look at the word opinion, and we'll use the Simple English Wiktionary as our guide. This is going to give us a perfect window into how this whole idea of simplicity can create so much clarity.
Now check this out. What's really cool is that the learning starts before you even see the definition. Look at the level of detail here. It gives you the phonetic spelling, shows you exactly what to break the word up, and even tells you it has 3 syllables. It's like every possible barrier to just understanding the word is being taken down one by one.
And here we have the core of it all. The definition is just so direct. There's no fancy language, no complicated phrasing, a personal idea, a person's thoughts on a topic. That's it. You get it instantly, which is the whole point of this entire approach.
But it doesn't stop there. The next thing it does is build connections. By giving you simple synonyms like idea, thought, and view, a learner isn't just memorizing one isolated word. They're actually building a whole network of related concepts, which really deepens their understanding.
Okay, this right here might be the most powerful teaching tool on the whole page. By showing you the direct opposite, the antonym, fact, it's not just telling you what an opinion is, it's making it crystal clear what it is not. And with just those 2 simple words, opinion versus fact, an absolutely critical concept for thinking clearly is taught. It's brilliant.
And here it is. This is the little phrase that ties everything we've just seen together. Right there on the page, the Simple English Wiktionary says, hey, by the way, this word opinion is one of those 850 core words. We've just seen the entire basic English philosophy in action. So let's zoom back out for a second. We've seen how it works, but let's talk about the why. Why is this method of breaking things down into their simplest parts so unbelievably effective?
What we just walked through is basically a playbook, a clear, repeatable process. You start with one essential idea. You define it with absolute clarity. You connect it to other similar ideas. You contrast it with its polar opposite. And by doing all that, you're not just teaching a word. You're building a rock-solid foundation for genuine understanding.
And this is the really important takeaway. This isn't just a useful tool for people learning English. This is a lesson for all of us. When we use simple, direct language, it makes our communication clearer for literally everyone. It forces us to cut through the jargon and the fluff and really focus on the core meaning of what we're trying to get across, whether we're explaining science or, just our own opinion.
So, I'll leave you with a question to think about. Think about something in your own life, your job, a hobby, something you're studying, that seems really complicated. How could you apply this idea? What complex idea could you break down and explain, just by starting with a few simple, powerful words?